Hey, Janice.
Hi, Anthony.
Today, let's cover 3 reasons why probate court takes so long. So lately, well, not lately, but even more so lately, clients are calling and asking us, why is my probate case taking so long? I mean, this is kind of always the case, but it's actually even longer than usual now. So we're getting a few more calls. So here are 3 current and real world situations and sort of explain, what's happening and, help you understand why your case might be kind of sitting longer than you thought.
Yep. Along with everyone else's right now.
Very true. Very true.
Right.
Okay. So first, you should ask yourself, is there a backlog for probate? And just like with, I think, pretty much any bureaucracy out there, especially government bureaucracies, the answer is yeah. Due to COVID and the lockdowns, the courts have had limited staff and limited operations for over a year. I mean, you had one person doing a job of 3 for over a year, right? In some situations, or even more. So that means the courts, which even in the best of times are not lightning fast. So even when running quote unquote optimally, they're not even that fast. But now they're playing catch up for over a year worth of backlog, right? Files that had just been stacking up, and because people didn't stop dying, or
no. Their piles, I can just imagine what it looks like on their desk, and you almost feel bad. Like they used to have the pile that they'd sift through that would take a while, which we understand. And I just now picture that pile, right? Like a big pile that they're sifting through.
And on top of the backlog, which again, Janice points out can be understandable and daunting, sure. It seems, tell me if you're feeling the same way, Janice, it feels like we're getting that the courts are a bit understaffed.
Oh, yeah.
And that some of the guys some of the workers who are coming in are kind of new to this. Like
yes.
They've been forced to hire new clerks who are not as experienced and kind of don't know what they're doing as much. And not pointing any fingers, but then that would lead to even more delays, even slower processing, and probably even more mistakes and back and forth with the court.
Yeah, and it seems like I also had heard that they were working still on like a different type of shift where someone would work all week and then someone different would come in the week after. They were trying to space out the employees to, keep everyone separated.
Sure.
So if you do have that new person, they may not have a lot of people that they could just, look over their shoulder and say, hey, I have a question about this. Yeah. So, I feel it's definitely harder. And they are definitely a lot of newer people.
That's a great point. So if a new clerk has a question, they have to, schedule I don't know how it works. But
right.
Schedule a Zoom call with their supervisor instead of just yelling over the copy machine, hey, Bob, can you take a look at this? So that probably adds to the delays. Yeah.
Yes. So now you're waiting to talk to somebody and now your pile's stacking up even higher and you're learning while going along, and you think about it, you've also just walked in a gigantic pile too that you have to sift through. So.
Very true. Okay. So next issue is, can the probate court change its mind sometime? And the answer is yeah. So if you just what do I mean by that? How can a court change its mind? Okay. So imagine that the court, when I say the court, I mean a staff member, a clerk, what have you. Imagine the court is reviewing your file and gets back to you and says, okay, here are the 5 things I need you to do, and then the file will be good to go. And this is totally normal. This happens even with attorneys filing. That's just part of the dance between the attorney and the court.
Yeah. The dance, I like that. Yes.
But many of these changes that the court asks for are time consuming, such as getting papers re-signed, maybe even from an international destination where they have to go to an apostille or a U.S. consulate, or you need to get something translated, which takes time, or you have to order certified documents from a foreign court or a court out of state. All these things take time, let's just say.
Yes.
Now what happens? So even if those changes were not even that necessary, and you're kind of like, why are you making me do this? But this happens too. Mm-hmm. Usually, it's better to just say, whatever you say, we'll do it, and just do it. Usually faster to just comply, submit, and just whatever you say, whatever it takes to move forward. Right? Instead of saying, technically, you don't have to, arguing about it is not the faster way of doing things, usually.
Definitely not. No. And it doesn't get them to move any faster. Exactly. So we might as well just comply and,
But however, now imagine that by the time we've complied and made all those new documents and gotten all those new things signed, and we bring it back, guess what? The court clerks have cycled out, or somebody quit and we have a new one. For whatever reason, we have a new clerk on our case. And the new clerk says, who told you to do that? I want you to do these 5 things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it does happen. And this is actually,
we're not making this up.
Yeah, this is a current true story. Yeah. One of our current cases.
Like right now. Yeah.
So we usually see this more often with like bank bureaucracies where those are like larger corporations. So you almost never get the same person twice. But with courts, you typically, I mean, we've known the same clerks for like years. They don't change that often in normal times. But lately, it seems like the clerks are rotating out more. I don't know if it's because of like we talked about, like lockdown cycling, or if people are just getting fed up and quitting because they don't want to come in or whatever reason. But we're having a lot of more new people, and this is happening more commonly than usual.
Yeah.
All right. And then lastly, the last reason why sometimes probate court just takes a long time, I mean, did the court just make a mistake? And that happens. Court personnel, just like us, just like you, everyone, we're all human. Yep. Mistakes just happen. So just as an example, the probate courts, due to the current, pandemic rules, they very slowly, but they did in fact adopt an electronic filing system.
Yay!
I mean, until 2 years ago, there was no such thing. We had to walk everything in. Now we can electronically submit. Kind of.
Kind of, not everything. Like, wait a minute. Yes, we could do some things, but not everything. Yeah.
But does it work smoothly? Does this electronic filing system work smoothly? Would you say, Janice?
No, not yet. It's getting there. There's potential, and we're in the right direction. Yeah. But smoothly, not so much yet.
So yeah, we're getting there. It's work in progress.
Right. Trying to stay positive here.
So for an example, we had a client who got real frustrated, and that's fine. So he called the court directly. He asked us what's going on with our case, and we said we're waiting for the court. Mm-hmm. They have everything they need, as far as we know. And the client said, "Okay, look, I'm gonna call and ask myself." We're like, "Fine, yeah, feel free." So the client calls the court and said, "What's the status of the case?" And the court replied, "What do you mean? Nothing's ever been filed in this case." So Janice is literally looking at the computer screen that says the e-file receipt, like the court has everything as of 2 months ago. So, that caused a little bit of a confusion where the client was like, "Oh my gosh, is my lawyer lying to me? Is the court lying to me? Like, what's going on?" And good thing we had receipts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of the receipts, I believe, was a couple of hours before they called and said, we haven't even seen it. Weird. So, yeah. But again, I go back to what they're dealing with, right? Yeah. You imagine that stack of papers. They're not going to remember all of the cases, and they honestly probably just don't have time to really dig into each phone call.
Yeah, but this one was weird. Okay, you're very understanding. But yeah. I mean, it's on e-file now, so click, click, click. They should have been able to pull. I don't know what happened, but who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
Thankfully, I think we put out that fire with the client, because it was. That's why you have receipts from e-filing. That right there is a bonus. Yes.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it. Those are the 3 reasons that we're currently seeing for why probate is taking so much longer than usual. And I hope this helps some folks understand what's going on lately.
Yep. And as much as we don't like to say, just hang in there with us. We file it. Sometimes I know currently they're still processing some of the stuff back from February and March. Yeah. And we're in September, almost October. Right. It's a waiting game. So we're waiting along with you. And probate is not a quick process. Definitely recommend Anthony's book, How Probate Works, available on Amazon, so you can see exactly the process here.
Cool. All right, everyone. Hope this one is more for existing clients, but for anyone else who's going through the process and maybe even about to start the process, just so you understand how long this can take.
Yeah. Starting it now. I mean, I think you're going to run into the same thing till they can dig out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Janice. As always, thank you, folks, for listening, and we'll talk soon next time. Bye.
Talk soon.